Now, this is a question, Nolan, not just for you and Dave, but also for the listeners out there. Have you noticed that many bottles and cartons are now actually harder to open? It's not just your imagination. Containers of milk, soda, even water, they're more difficult to open because the plastic screw tops, they have been shortened. And the reason behind that is to save on plastic. So even the simplest things, trying to simplify, can make it more complicated. Just like retirement planning, how has it gotten more complicated and more complex over time? And isn't that all the more reason for people to reach out and come see you guys?
Well, that is good news that I hear that containers of the milk, soda, and water are making it more difficult because of the plastic screws. I thought it was because of my age. Getting those things open is more difficult.
It's not just you.
No, I mean, I could tell you that sometimes people hand me and say, hey, can you open this up? And I do the same as well. So I get it. But, retirement planning has absolutely become more complicated. What's so neat to think about is the fact that we've been on Toledo's largest talk station for now over 20 years. And if we go back in time, many of you have been longtime listeners, and we really appreciate that. For a lot of times, I had Mark Clare, local estate planning attorney. He's done numerous shows with me in the past. And one of the things that I love that he said is things aren't like they used to be. And that's true when it comes to retirement planning. I think things have gotten much more complicated today just in general with life than where they were in the past. And, retirement, no wonder the biggest concern for a retiree is outliving their income. Number one is you have longer life expectancies. Scott, who deals with helping people navigate the landscape of, health insurance and Medicare and long-term care, think about the longer life expectancies that we've seen in the last 20 years. In the past, if you had a diagnosis of cancer, a heart attack, a stroke, in many situations, that was almost a deadly diagnosis. And now today, you can get that, and it can be a chronic situation, but the advancements that we've seen in the healthcare industry have certainly created longer life expectancies. People are making healthier choices, whether it's what they eat and whether they exercise and stay active. I know many of the retirees that we work with, they talk about going to the gym once or twice a day and making good choices and enjoying life. Number two is you've had that shift from a defined benefit to defined contribution plan. I know, Dave, your wife is blessed enough for her years of hard working as a local teacher. She still has the option to have a more traditional pension plan option in retirement. With myself being 49, I think it's kind of my generation and younger that those have switched to more of the defined contribution plan. I know here at our office, that's what we offer is a 401k, a defined contribution plan for folks. But that pension that she has probably gives her a lot of peace of mind knowing that that's some reliable income in retirement.
Absolutely. In fact, she's going to look at retiring in another year. So June of 2026, that is going to be her date that she's going to call it a career and enjoy the rest of her life and probably start working over here and micromanaging Dave Ross so that he can do a little better. And I'm all for that. She's a part of the old dinosaur defined benefit plan. So it basically, her pension is telling her how much she can count on in her retirement. Well, we've got a couple interesting things in our family that are going on. In a year when she retires, we will still have 3 children under the age of 26 who will all be in some semblance of getting educated, and health insurance for them is going to be a major thing. I'll sign up for Medicare. I'll go see Scott and I'll get set up and I will have my health care needs taken care of through a Medicare supplement. But my oldest daughter has started a job, and she will probably have access to some health insurance when she finishes her master's program. But I'll have a son that will be in his last year of college, and I'll have a daughter who will have 3 years of college left. So health insurance and access to that is going to be a big part of our retirement plan. But as far as my wife's concerned, she's earned her benefit, and she's earned the right to enjoy the rest of her life. And quite honestly, I think she would admit that the landscape of education over the past 33, 34 years has changed quite a bit. And so that's why it makes sense to do some very efficient planning so that you can enjoy your retirement.
Well, I think, in your situation, a perfect example of where retirement planning has become more complicated. You brought up again some other interesting points, the rising healthcare cost. As a self-employed individual, I get my health insurance through the Affordable Health Care Act. And navigating that landscape, looking at deductibles, looking at out-of-pocket expenses, whether it's kids that are still in college, I have one that's going to be going off to college, one that's graduated, is a changing environment. Even for those folks that are looking to retire before the age of 65 and need to navigate that, that's where Scott, Troy, and Dan can help you understand how that works, then moving over, transitioning into Medicare, and then all the way down the road to helping protect your assets if you or a loved one needs some type of long-term medical care. Number 4 is you have complex tax laws, right? I am amazed and surprised at the complexity of the tax law that's out there today. And one of the things that we do is we have started the Retirement Tax Partners to be able to not only help people file their federal, state, local taxes, we also will, with the CPAs and EAs that we work with, we'll run a what-if tax analysis to show you, where in the complex tax laws can you help minimize the overall taxes that you're paying for this year and also in the future, because navigating that complex tax landscape can be somewhat of a challenge. And, I bet this year with the new presidency, we're going to see all kinds of tax law changes that come into effect. Number 5 is you have complex financial products. I think about, the products that are built and brought out to the market. For me personally, and I know our office, we're all about education. We attend quite a few industry events. I was just down in Atlanta a couple of weeks ago for the annual kickoff, and you look at the financial products that are being designed today. Some of those financial products are great, I think, for some consumers, and some of those financial products are probably great for the company that's building that product, right? And so a consumer gets confused on, navigating through that complex financial product market that's out there. Even when you think about the fact of social media or 24-hour news channels, there's always somebody in your face, and that creates number 6, that market noise and volatility. Think about how fast the markets can turn in the opposite direction. Look at how fast the markets went down in a scenario like COVID or when you had the 2008 crash. That market noise and volatility can make it very complex for a retiree to decide, what are the products and how should I position my portfolio to not only get through the market noise, as I tell people to turn off that and turn on the travel channel, but help reduce the volatility. And finally, bringing that all together through the estate plans. 2 good examples are the Secure Acts, the first one and the second one that were put into effect. That changes how non-spousal beneficiaries can take and inherit things like retirement accounts, or just not even having your estate plans put in place, or having your estate plans put in place when your kids are little. All of these things can make it very complicated. So if you feel retirement is complicated, we're going to help you simplify it. And here's how we're going to do that. If we put together the Retirement Team Action Plan, we will provide you a 2-page printout that shows you the threats and opportunities on how to address the areas of taxes, estate planning, asset protection, and money management. And, if you're one of the people that have been listening to the show for a while, if you have more than $500,000 of retirement savings build up, we will provide you a complimentary Retirement Team Action Plan and show you how to take what's complicated and simplify it for your unique situation. Just get a hold of our office. Again, ask for that Retirement Team Action Plan. We'll put that together for you.
All it takes to do that is reach out, give a call, 419-794-3030. Just as, Dave, you pointed out, your wife, the education landscape has changed certainly in the past 20 years. Retirement planning, most industries have. Retirement planning is no different if what you thoughts you had turned out to no longer be true as far as your financial and retirement knowledge, when would you want to know? I dare say as soon as possible. Why not have this retirement team action plan put together by the team at America's Retirement Headquarters, 419-794-3030, or you can go to the website as well, and that's arhq.com.